Hello children, today we are going to learn sixth lesson. Your sixth lesson is Effects of the British Rule in India. India was economically prosperous till the 18th century. The same country, India, became poor and bankrupt during the nearly 200 years of the British rule. India became only the supplier of raw materials to the factories in England and offered a large market for the finished products of the factories in England. Condition of peasants and agriculture during the British rule. After the victory in the Battle of Buxar in 1764, the company got the Diwani rights, means rights to collect land revenue of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Thus, the British got a new opportunity to increase their income. Land revenue means the tax which we pay to the government for the use of land. You know that the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam granted the Diwani of Bengal to the East India Company under Treaty of Allahabad in 1765 after the victory in the Battle of Buxar in 1764. The Diwani rights allowed the company to collect revenue directly from the people of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Thus, the British got a new opportunity to increase their income from India. The company used this opportunity to extract as much revenue as possible and buy fine cotton and silk as cheaply as possible with that revenue. Revenue is the money that a company, organization, or government receives from the people. The East India Company collected land revenue from the people of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. With that revenue, they bought cotton and silk with cheap price from the peasants. As a result, the peasants became poorer and poorer. A large number of peasants had to borrow money from the money lenders and consequently fell into a debt trap. Because of to pay the land revenue to the company, many times the peasants had to borrow money from the money lenders. Many times the peasants had to sold their jewelry to pay the revenue to the company. Farmers lost their land and agriculture suffered in many regions of India. A devastating famine took place in Bengal in 1770, wherein one-third of the population of Bengal perished of starvation. In 1770, a famine took place in Bengal, wherein one-third of the people of Bengal died because of the lack of food. Bengal, which was agriculturally one of the richest provinces of India, was impoverished by the maladministration of the colonial rule. At that time, Bengal was agriculturally one of the richest provinces of India. Because of the maladministration of the British rule in India, the peasants of Bengal became poorer and poorer. After acquiring vast territories in India, the company devised a systematic policy of exacting maximum land revenue. Britishers conquered vast territories in India and they planned a new policy introduced for collecting maximum land revenue from the peasants. Subsequently, various land revenue settlements were initiated, such as permanent settlement, the Mahalwari settlement, and the Rayatwari settlement. Governor General Lord Cornwallis enforced Permanent Settlement Act in 1793 in order to collect revenue. It covered Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and Benares. Under the Permanent Settlement Act, the company collected the revenue from Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and Benares. As per this act, the peasants had to pay a fixed amount of revenue every year to the company. If they failed, their lands were auctioned off. The zamindars or landlords were given the permanent rights of land and revenue collection. This land revenue was collected by the zamindars from the peasants. All these factors led to the impoverishment of the peasants, while the zamindars became a loyal intermediary class between the company and the peasantry. Under the Permanent Settlement Act, the peasants became poorer and poorer, while the zamindars or landlord became the loyal intermediary class between the East India Company and the peasants. The agricultural production increased, but the condition of the peasants worsened. Effects of social life. Warren Hastings was given the job of collecting revenue. So, Warren Hastings was called collector. He also performed the function of a judge. The British system of administration destroyed our ancient system of village self rule, which was handled by Grama Panchayat. You know that in ancient times, every village was like a small republic. Gram Panchayat handled the administration of the entire village. These panchayats were like the backbone of the self rule in our country. These institutions of local self rule stood their ground even during the times of foreign invasions and the Sultanate period, but were destroyed due to the administrative policies of the British. The British policy of social reforms made the people feel insecure. They feared that the government was trying to convert them to Christianity in order to destroy Indian religion and culture forever. People believed that the Indian social system was deliberately undermined in railways and the military. An order was passed in Agra that every Indian had to salute the British. If this was not done, it was considered a crime liable for punishment. Thus, a feeling of hatred for the British spread among Indian citizens. Next, destruction of Indian trade and industries. Indian handlooms supplied cloth to the markets of Europe and Asia. European traders came to India for business. The Indian made jute, silk, wool, and cotton textiles were in high demand in European markets. The soft and delicate muslin of Dhaka was world famous. Muslin is lightweight cotton cloth in a plain weave. Muslin is a cloth used in dressmaking, furniture polishing, etc. Indian commodities like saltpetre, salt, sugar, etc. were also exported in exchange of tremendous amount of bullion, that is gold and silver. This scenario changed during the British rule. The flow of bullion was reversed. Saltpetre is a common name for potassium nitrate. It is used as a preservatives in cured meat and an ingredient in toothpaste for sensitive teeth. Many decades ago, doctors prescribed potassium nitrate for the disease like asthma and arthritis. Before the British rule in India, the Indian commodities like saltpetre, salt, sugar, etc. were exported to other countries in exchange of gold and silver. This scenario changed during the British rule. With raw materials and revenue collected from India, British industries prospered. Cloth manufactured in England was imported to India without levying any duty, while cloth manufactured in India was levied 80% tax. Means the East India Company bought raw materials with a cheap price from India and exported to England, and the finished products like cloth manufactured in England was imported to India without charging any import duty, while cloth manufactured in India was charged 80% tax. These unjust rules made Indian cloth costly in Indian markets itself. So, Indian textile, cottage, and handicraft industries could not compete with British industries. Many Indian industries like silk, glass, paper, minerals, shipbuildings, etc. were ruined during the British period. Lakhs of people lost their jobs and many people became poorer and poorer. When William Benedict came to India, British started taking interest in the lives of Indian citizens. He became popular by introducing beneficial reforms like banning the evil custom of sati in 1829 on the request of social reformers like Rajaram Mohan Roy. Second one, in 1834, English education system was started in India with the help of Lord Macaulay. Third point, he allotted posts to Indians who knew English in British administration. Means with English education, the British government got administrative workers who knew English. Railways, post and telegraph system and printing was started during the tenure in 1853 to 1854. In 1857, he established universities in Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. These are the reforms introduced by William Benedict. However, the English education also developed national emotions among Indians. Many machines were invented to facilitate the industries, transport, and communication. In 1853, the British government started railway in India for quick transportation of army. The first railway in India started between Mumbai and Thane in the year 1853 CE. In 1854 CE, British government started modern system of telegraph and post in India. Thereafter, printing press and newspapers also started in India. The reforms were introduced by the British for their benefit, but they benefited Indians too. But still, those reforms became a blessing as the emotion of nationalism was inculcated in the minds of Indians. The education, newspapers, and posts and telegraphs brought people closer. Here ends your sixth lesson. Thank you.